Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the first of our 4 semifinal competitions here on MLSsoccer.com as the Generation Adidas Cup here in 2016 moves into the playoffs. In our first game this afternoon, it's going to be Chivas de Guadalajara facing off against Liga MX opposition in Monterrey. I'm David Goss. I've been joining you all week on MLSsoccer.com with all of your broadcasts. We've got 3 more games after this one today, and then 2 finals coming up on Saturday for what should be a phenomenal ending to an exciting tournament so far. These 2 Liga MX teams getting here by way of winning their group. 4 groups in the Premier Division. The 4 group winners have moved on now into the semifinals. We'll see another Liga MX team later in Pumas facing off against Brazilian opposition Atlético Paranaense. These 2 teams warming up on the field beside us and then coming over and getting ready to kick off up here in this. For one of them will be the final game of the competition. For Chivas, a similar starting lineup to what we've seen all season as they wear their famous white and red stripes of the goats. At right back, Cortez. At center back, Benjamin Galindo and Gilberto Sepulveda. And at left back, Jose Vargas. In the 3 center midfielders, Luis Rodriguez, Omar Beltran, and Juan Perez. And up top, the attacking 3 that has been venomous so far in this tournament. Diego Hernandez leading the competition in crosses completed. Jose Juan Macias, the leading goal scorer. And Hugo Jaquez, the highest passer in the Premier Division so far, as well as a man who's put away 3 goals himself. On the flip side, for Monterrey, they come into this one as well, one of the highest scoring teams in the competition. Emir Castro at right back, Kevin Infanzon, Carlos Salazar at the center backs, and Daniel Parra, who is one of the leaders in chances created, sitting at left back. Cesar Ramos in goal starts his 4th straight competition. And their 3-man midfield, William Mejia, Hernan Pinedo, and Jose Alvarado. And then up top, their 3 attacking stars, Roberto Marcos, Juan Machado, and their leading goal scorer, Daniel Lahoud, at the left forward position. We are ready to get going on this one here in the big one, Toyota Stadium. We've been playing alongside a Toyota Soccer Center throughout the week, and our next 6 matches coming here in the stadium. Our head referee, Victor Rivas, handing over the ball. He's assisted by Jeffrey Skinker and Tom Feliz. 4th official, Guido Gonzalez. And we are ready to kick off the semifinals competition of the 2016 Generation Adidas Cup as we look to crown a champion in both the Premier and Championship divisions. 3 Liga MX teams going for the Premier Division title. And we'll see if one of them can win out. There'll be a guarantee of at least one Liga MX team, of course, in the final between these 2. Monterrey getting here on 8 points, just ahead of Sporting KC, probably the most dramatic and closest group of the Premier Division competition. Both those teams, SKC as well as Monterrey, really running through their first 2 games. SKC with a 4-0 and 3-0 win to get there. And then those 2 teams faced off in the 3rd group game. SKC took a 2-0 lead. Going into the halftime whistle, Monterrey charged back with 2 goals in the second half. They immediately went to penalty kicks to decide the group winner. Monterrey winning out 4-3 on penalties. The 2 teams going toe-to-toe. Monterrey led. They scored on their first shot as this cross comes in. It was easily handled. They scored on their first shot. Both teams had their second shot saved. And then they went toe-to-toe up until the 5th shooter. And Monterrey was able to come away with the 4-3 victory. On the flip side for Chivas, 9 points in the group stage. A perfect group stage for them. Knocking off Chicago in the final game, 4-1. They beat New England 2-1 in the first game, as well as handily defeating the Portland Timbers in their second game 5-0. Monterrey, one of the biggest clubs in all of Mexico. Monterrey located up in the north. They share the city along with Tigres, last season's champions. And, of course, Chivas Guadalajara, probably the biggest club in all of Mexico, tied for most championships ever. A club that has never seen a foreign player play for their team, and because of that, they have one of the most well-established academies in all of Mexico. These two teams looking to settle in here. We'll be playing 2 35-minute halves plus stoppage time. If tied at that point, we head directly to penalty kicks. These two teams looking for a place in the final. Last year's final of the Premier Division was won by the New York Red Bulls, defeating Independiente Medellin out of Colombia with the turn and strike there, deflected away from Machado. The weather has been a little bit schizophrenic since we've come down here. Freezing cold rain to open up the tournament last week on Friday. Cold and windy on Sunday. Historic winds on Tuesday during the third group stage, which really affected the way the games played. Were played teams with huge advantages going with the wind for one half and against the wind in that KC Monterrey game. KC had the win behind their back, went up 2-0. Monterrey, as I said, coming out of the locker room down 2-0. With the win, they put up 2 goals themselves. It's really was a huge factor in the game. Today, a perfect day for soccer. Not as much wind in the stadium, so it won't really affect the game as Daniel Hernandez now comes off the win looking to create. Macias in a battle, and he loses out there to Mejia. Chivas trying to speed up play. 57 degrees and sunny here. A perfect temperature to play some soccer. Monterrey located in northern Mexico, a little bit more used to these conditions. Neither team will really be affected. Long ball knocked down on the far side. Parra coming forward. Up the wing there to Lahoud. Parra stays onside. Cross comes in on the ground and cleared away there by Perez. Still alive now for Monterrey. And stolen away. Well done there by Spulvita, the center back, and he's able to draw the foul, the first foul of the game. Just about 5 minutes in here. Monterrey switching over from a 4-4-2 in their first game, a 2-1 win against the New England Revolution, to a 4-3-3 in the last 3 games, starting in that same formation here today with Marcos and Lahoud out on the wings. Lahoud starting the first game at left midfield. This Monterrey team has the 3rd most goals scored in this competition so far. Chivas the 2nd. These are 2 high-scoring teams. Monterrey, 58 shots on the season. In this tournament. By far the most in the competition. Chivas is 2nd with 51. So we do not expect a low-scoring game in this one. These are 2 teams that have proven that they can open up play and get after it and create opportunities. Chivas, of course, with the leading goal scorer in Macias. Chivas known very well for the goal scorers they've created. Chicharito Hernandez and Carlos Vela currently part of the Mexican international setup. Here and there, as this one's headed on at the far post and it'll go out for a corner kick. Omar Bravo, legendary Mexican center forward, back now with Chivas, came up through their academy, spent time overseas in the United States as well as in Europe. Now back with Chivas. First corner kick of the game coming in here for the Goats. It'll be Jaquez with the cross. Right-footed service played in. Knocked down. Ball played back in. Still onside is Jaquez. This time the left-footed service. And it's across the face of goal, and it's going to roll out of bounds harmlessly for a Monterrey throw-in. First flash at an opportunity for Chivas. Hugo Jaquez has been incredible in this competition. Caught back in, shot comes in here and just wide of the far post. You can see a dip over the goalkeeper's head. If it was on frame, it may have been going in. That shot there from Jose Juan Macias, the Dynamite goal scorer with 5 goals in the competition so far. We'll see 17 shots coming into this game. The leader in this competition. Opta doing a great job bringing in data on all of these games to help these academy teams take their production and their coaching up to the next level. A little ping pong now in the midfield. Finally brought down out wide to Lahoud. Ball taken off of Parra's foot. And immediately Chivas will look to counter. Hernandez down this left wing looking for Jaquez. Cut away by Monterrey. That speed down the wings with Macias down the middle. Their ability to counterattack. Chicago Fire played in their meeting in the final group stage. It was 2-0 out of halftime. Chicago dominating the first 15 minutes of play, creating numerous opportunities they just could not finish. And then Chivas, like a flash of lightning, completely countering the other way. Looks like play being called here by Monterrey on this set piece. Chivas able to take a 3-0 lead and really put the nail in the coffin. Cross coming in here. Pineda plays it into the far post. Clear it away. Still alive for Monterrey at the top of the box. Try and loop it back in. And it hits the crossbar. And it'll be a goal kick, not a second opportunity. Miguel Martinez in goal. Knocking that one over. Chivas now in no rush. Taking time to set up. Both these teams showing a little bit of danger offensively. Yet to really pin the ears back and go after it. Joaquin Moreno's boys for Chivas. Coming in here with a lot of confidence. One of the things that's been discussed among the coaches a lot is this tournament also doubles as an opportunity for the top academy coaches to come in and meet with different experts as well as the head coaches from these different international clubs to learn about different ideas in coaching and scouting and how to help players grow and develop and build academies. And one of the big things that's been discussed is age. The age of players, how to coach players, especially between the ages of 14 and 17 when players have growth spurts and mature mentally as well as physically at different speeds. Chivas Guadalajara, the oldest team in this competition. Average age 16 years old and 4 months. And Monterrey, the second oldest team, just over 16 years of an average age. And that has been indicative a lot of the results that we've seen here. The Portland Timbers, the only team in the Premier Division to not get a result, but by far the youngest age at under an average of under 15 years old between their team. They are blooding players, young players for the future who will potentially have the chance to come back here next year and the year after and show how much they've grown and developed, especially with the opportunity to face off against teams in this competition like Monterrey, like Sporting KC, who brought older, more mature, more physically mature players. Great touch there from Macias. Now looking for space to find a shot. Good 1-2 at the top of the box, flicked on by a Monterrey defender. And it goes out of bounds for a corner kick. Great build-up there from Chivas. Starting out with the touch out there on the top of the box, maybe from Jaquez or Macias, I couldn't quite see. Beating that first defender and opening up the play. Corner kick coming now for Guadalajara. Jose Vargas, the left back, standing over it, looking to whip it. An in-swinger with that left-footed service. He plays it into the top of the box, cleared away by Monterrey. Kept alive for a second by Chivas, and then finally hit out of the zone. Vargas was on sides there, but could not keep it inbounds. Good first dangerous look at the game there for Chivas, showing the ability to keep the ball on the ground and work it in and out of tight spaces. Neither of these two teams the highest passing teams in the competition. They've both been efficient with their opportunities and possession. Vargas now back onto his left side. Will take this one. Big clubs like these, coming from our neighbors to the south, Mexico, always get a good following of fans. We've seen Chivas fans out here, as well as River Plate fans and Monterrey and Pumas fans to watch their teams play. A Mexican U16 team competing in the championship division. Picked up a good following as well. Chivas able to work it out of pressure there. Sepulveda now with the long ball towards Hernandez. This one bouncing over here. Great opportunity for Marcos to get on the ball. Just too far ahead of Pineda on the pass. Marcos with the pressure, and Vargas able to come away with it. That one just too long for Macias. Finally, Chivas, it looked like was going to be able to bring it down. Good pressure from both sides to make it difficult, especially for these holding midfielders. Hernan Pineda on Monterrey, as well as Juan Perez on Chivas. Players that like to sit on the ball and pull some strings. Chivas, a team that's played through their forwards more. Monterrey, a team that's played through that central midfield a little bit more in this competition. Monterrey, their first team, having a fantastic season. The city, really, the center of soccer right now. Ball's played over the top and cleared out. Second bite at it now here for Chivas. And one away well by Monterrey. It'll go out in favor of Monterrey. Monterrey's first team, sitting in first place for a long time in this Liga MX season. Their cross-city rivals, Tigres, winning the last competition. But Monterrey knocked them off so far in the regular season. They remain in first place, are now just ahead of Club America and Pachuca. Chivas at the first team level struggling a little bit over these last few years. Having a hard time keeping players around. Marco Fabian, a great young player, heading over to Europe out of this Chivas academy. And now big star players like Brizuela and Carlos Peña brought in to try and turn things around behind Omar Bravo and Aldo de Nigris. Free kick called here by our head referee, Rivas. It'll go against Chivas, even though it looks like Omar Beltran's the one down on the ground. A nice cool breeze blowing through here. As Chivas in their home, red and white stripes have it at their back, going right to left. Monterrey in their away white, very clean white jerseys, looking immaculate down there on the Toyota Stadium field, which is as perfect a surface as you could want. The players' big eyes when they walked in. The field out at Toyota Soccer Center, fantastic as well, but nothing like the big stadium with the bleachers and the perfect grass for these young players to walk into and get excited about. Monterrey here, a chance maybe to shoot from the top of the box, and the tackle made in the end. And now Chivas is out on the break. Sepulveda with the cross down to the left wing. Jaquez, the second leading goal scorer on this team, with the shot. Still alive for Chivas, and the second save made also by Ramos. End-to-end stuff here for this Chivas Guadalajara side. What a start to the attack. Benjamin Galindo, the center back, stepping up, winning it, riding a tackle or two, and then opening up the attack. And he did a great job following Jaquez's shot off the hands of Romero. And it looked like he was going to have a tapping goal. Fantastic there from Ramos to get up and make the second save. Cross coming in now again from the far side. Vargas with the right-footed service, alive in the box and flicked on. Second opportunity for Chivas, and it gets knocked away. Beltran losing possession. And a free kick won here for Beltran. This will be a dangerous opportunity. Roberto Marcos of Monterrey coming back and helping defensively, but making a crucial mistake there, giving up this free kick. The halfway mark of this first half, the opening semifinal, the 2016 Generation Adidas Cup. We have Atletico Paranaense versus Pumas coming up just after this one, and then later this evening, FC Dallas, the lone MLS team in the semifinals, will face off against UD Chile in our 8:15 p.m. Central Time broadcast. Cross played in here looking for that opening goal, and just wide of that near post on the service there from Perez. Monterrey now looking to see if they can sustain some possession maybe and create some opportunities of their own. Great tackle one there in the midfield for Castro. Castro once again now with the throw-in. Intercepted by Vargas. Pineda whiffs on the ball, and it'll roll out of bounds for a throw into Chivas. Monterrey maybe the team a little bit more fortunate to be here at this stage, sneaking by Sporting Kansas City. I think Chivas showing so far why they were so dominant in the group stage. Looking like the better team over these opening 20 minutes of play. Chivas very direct in their play, but very effective as well. Great strength as a team. And a free kick now. We'll head for Chivas once again. Cortez down on the ground after the play. Galindo will take this one. Galindo starting that attack on the counter and finishing it with a shot opportunity just a few minutes ago. One of the best looks of the game, if not the. Sepulveda back to his goalkeeper, and a dangerous clearance now. A chance for Monterrey, and the soft shot coming in from that far side. Daniel Lahoud getting his first look on goal of the game. Lahoud, 2 goals so far in this competition. He's not really gotten a lot of the ball out there on that far left side. Good work here from Para. The layoff, and now a chance to restart this attack. And that one running just long for Marcos. It looked like a perfect ball when it came off the foot of Alvarado. Excuse me, Pineda with that setup. Long ball up the wing. Hernandez lays it off. Macias here, and he's offsides. Just a step or two offsides. Looked like a brilliant pass there from Perez to open it up for him. Macias, as every great goal scorer does, living right on the edge of that line. At some point, he's going to get that call right, and he'll be in on goal. Pineda pulled back there. So he'll earn a free kick for his team. We'll see if Monterrey chooses to put this one in the box. Smartly take it quickly up the line to Marcos. He's got Castro outside of him. Plays it to Castro, and Castro not expecting it. Trips up over the ball and puts it out of bounds. It wasn't a bad idea from Marcos, but it looked like he had space to dribble, and I think Castro saw the same thing. Turned off mentally a little bit. Yet to see a goal here so far in this opening semifinal. Just about 12 minutes left to play in this first half in regular time. A little bit of a kick out after the play, sending Castro to the ground. Pretty clean match so far. Some fair fouls called both ways against these two teams. You see after, it looks like Hernandez is taken down in the middle of the field. The right foot, or left foot, chopping Castro there. They'll be fortunate there's no disciplinary committee to rewatch these. Macias now is in on goal. Looking for someone to shoot. They get the shot away, blocked by Monterrey. Still alive in the box and finally cleared. Jose Juan Macias doing a great job to set his teammates up there. It looked like either Jaquez or Perez with the shooting opportunity coming into the box behind him. Chivas' opportunity starting to build here as this first half wears on. Can they find a way to beat Ramos? Knocked around here. Para beaten just to the ball, and Jaquez is going to get the foul called against him. So Para, our head referee Rivas says getting there first and earning the foul. Para now starting all 4 games of this competition, had a huge goal to start the comeback against SKC in the last game. It's a fantastic tournament. 128 passes completed coming into this one. 4th most in the competition, obviously most on his team. Macias, great work with his body to keep possession, and then turns it over. Marcos able to push it now all the way wide to Lahoud. Lahoud with the early cross in. Falls to the far post here to Marcos. Laid up, and the right-footed shot is blocked by Spelvuda. Marcos still doing work on this right side. Back to the feet of Castro. Now Monterrey a chance to pick their head up and find some opportunities to create. Chivas here, if they can win it back, though, this is why this team is so dangerous. The moment they win it back, they're quick on the counterattack, so Monterrey cannot make mistakes. Good one-touch passing here. Monterrey starting to settle in now as this half wears on, getting more and more comfortable. Lahoud coming off the wing, chips it up towards Machado. Machado's on sides. He beats the first defender. The cross played in and taken by the fingertips there by Miguel Martinez. From this angle, it looked like that was going to float over his head, and Lahoud was going to have an opportunity to tap that one in. Headed back here to Martinez. Martinez in no rush to play the ball. Gives it to the feet of Galindo. Galindo's pass much too low. Now a chance for Machado to get it out wide. Marcos with the shot, and he scores! The opening goal of this semifinal. You'd have to say against the run of play. Monterrey takes a 1-0 lead. Roberto Marcos with his second goal of the competition, and Monterrey in front here in the closing minutes of this first half. Chivas hadn't made many mistakes up until that one. Galindo with the low pass, and immediately Monterrey are able to jump on the ball. Counter back the other way. Juan Machado setting up Roberto Marcos here on this goal. And Marcos not making any mistakes. He gets it right there on that half volley. Doesn't have to put much power into it. And allows his team to take the lead. Marcos, the most dangerous threat offensively of this team. Most of the play had been down the right wing for Monterrey. This time, the steal coming down the left side. And Marcos in the perfect position to finish it off. Cross played in by Chivas. Chivas had 2 or 3 great looks. A lot of possession and shots. Could not find the goal, and Monterrey makes them pay, similar to what Chivas really had been doing to every other team so far in this competition. Castro loses the ball out of bounds. Vargas now to throw it in. Joaquin Moreno will not be happy with his team. Wasting opportunities. They've been one of the most efficient offensive teams in the tournament. Wasting a few opportunities in this first half, and then the mistake by Galindo leading to the opening goal for Marcos. Gorgeous goal as well, you have to say. Jaquez doing what he does, beating a few defenders, and then he takes a hand to the face and a free kick here in a dangerous position. See if there's a card as well to come here for Pineda. And there will be the first yellow card of the game coming in the 31st minute to Hernan Pineda. Pineda in his 4th start as well, scored in the opening game against New England. He's been a huge chance creator for this team. See the replay here. Jaquez so good with his feet in tight spaces, losing it. And then you see the left hand coming up from Pineda. Probably not. The contact probably not as hard as Jaquez made it look, but enough for the foul and unnecessary enough for the yellow card. So now Hernandez standing over this one. The left-footed ball chipped into the far post, alive on that far post. Knocked down, and I believe an offside's called. A mistake there on that far side. A few players slipping. Surprised to see Ramos rooted to his spot. Not really coming out to control that situation. And Chivas, another good position. And they leave the opportunity on the table. Both these teams looking to become the first Mexican team to win either division in this competition. This is the Generation Adidas Cup in its 9th season, 3rd year with international competition. Stoke City winning the first time as this one's crossed in the championship division, and River Plate of Buenos Aires winning it last year, and they have returned. They'll be in our first championship division semifinal at 6:15 p.m. Central Time and 7:15 p.m. Eastern here on MLSsoccer.com. River Plate facing off against Spanish opposition Villarreal. Villarreal snuck in as the best second-place team in the 3-group championship division in the last game in a win over San Jose. Vargas flicks it on, as does Hernandez. Beltran here on the ball, trying to get into the path of Hernandez. Macias keeps it alive. Now Perez with the switch of the field, and Jaquez can't get his feet right. He goes to ground, no call made, and into the safe hands for Monterrey of Cesar Ramos. Jaquez playing as that second forward as he has done throughout the tournament, pinching off that right wing. He's got 3 goals already in this competition, more than any individual player on Monterrey. Only enough for second on his team as Machado now dribbles into pressure and turns it over. Long ball hit into the path of Hernandez. This is where Chivas likes to play, out in the counter attack. Hernandez trying to get to that end line and get the cross away. Is able to keep possession, but controlled so far here by Castro. And it goes out for a throw-in, I believe, deep in that corner. Now Vargas coming forward with the throw. See if a long throw may be coming from him. See Jose Vargas. Long throw to that near post. Cleared away well by Monterrey. Now they try and take advantage. Vargas was up the field, and Marcos was looking to sneak in to that open area. Good win here by Parra, and then he gets taken down, and it'll be a free kick. Starting to get a little bit chippier here as we enter the last minute of the first half. This, the opening semifinal of the Premier Division of the 2016 Generation Adidas Cup. Chivas de Guadalajara facing off against Monterrey. The 2 Liga MX oppositions going toe-to-toe. Good opportunities both ways. Chivas probably the better of the chances, but Monterrey, the only one that matters. Getting the opening goal, Roberto Marcos, his second of the competition. Castro losing possession out of bounds. An opportunity hasn't fallen yet to Jose Juan Macias, as Vargas tried to hurry it up and take that one quickly. Clearance cut out. Maybe a last chance here for Chivas. Monterrey reacts well. The field to Machado. Good job from him to lay it back. Marcos with the 1-2 now. Machado holding on to the ball. No foul called there against Rodriguez. And now a free kick will go in favor of Chivas. Machado not happy at all. And no foul was called against Luis Rodriguez in that holding midfield. Free kick now coming. Juan Perez stands over it. The right-footed service down the middle of the box. 2 players open, flicked on, and over the crossbar. A perfect opportunity to tie it here in the closing minutes of the first half. Gilberto Sepulveda coming forward from the center back position and not able to put that one away. Chivas has had numerous opportunities in this opening half, and they could not get it done. Monterrey has finished when it's counted. Roberto Marcos in the 29th minute off the assist from Juan Machado for the only goal so far of this first half as Monterrey leads at halftime of this semifinal 1-0 over Chivas Guadalajara. We'll be back here on MLSsoccer.com in 10 minutes with all of your second half action. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, as we are getting ready to kick off here for the second half of competition. The first semifinal of the Generation Adidas Cup 2016 Premier Division happening here at Toyota Stadium. David Goss streaming with you on MLSsoccer.com. Monterrey coming out of the first half leading 1-0 against Mexican opposition Chivas de Guadalajara. And we are ready to face off here in the second half. Expect Chivas to put on quite a bit of pressure as it is a must-win situation. We will be playing. And here their first opportunity for Daniel Hernandez, and he flashes it high and over the crossbar. Macias going up and challenging for the first header. It bounced perfectly for the Chivas winger, Daniel Hernandez, who could not put that one on goal. He hasn't scored yet in this competition. Has Hernandez, second most chances created in the entire Premier Division. And that right-footed shot, it should have sat up perfectly for him. He leans back, gets under it, and puts the simple volley up over the crossbar. So a gigantic opportunity for Chivas here in these opening seconds of this second half. In the first half, Monterrey, of course, leading 1-0 through the 29th minute goal for Roberto Marcos. 5 shots apiece for both teams. 2 shots on goal for both teams, but 3 of the shots coming from inside the box for Chivas and only 1 coming from inside the box for Monterrey, and that was the goal. So the better quality opportunities going to Guadalajara in that first half. Macias, great first touch out wide. Jaquez making the run. He's got space. Monterrey look to close him down. The low shot to the far post. And it's saved by Ramos. Great instincts there from Macias on his first touch. Jaquez had space. It looked like Daniel Parra, the left back, was sneaking forward to get into the attack. Macias and Jaquez recognizing it. Macias with his first touch, attracting both center backs and then flicking it over his own shoulder. Fantastic play. We've seen Macias set his teammates up 2 or 3 times here in this game already. He's the leading goal scorer in the competition. That doesn't mean that he can't create opportunities for his teammates as well. 35-minute half, so this one will go to the 70th minute mark plus stoppage time. If tied, we will go directly to a penalty kick shootout. Monterrey knocking off Sporting KC to get to the semifinals in penalty kicks. Chivas yet to face PKs in this competition. In the group stage, any game that ended in a tie automatically went straight to PKs as well. It was 2 points for a winner and 1 point for the PK shootout loser to avoid having a goal differential situation decide who went through, and it worked out perfectly in the Sporting KC Monterrey game. Exactly how it was meant to. Good job from Cortez coming forward, but he lets the ball bounce and hit his hand. So a free kick going the other way for Monterrey. Monterrey, a club name that will be very, very familiar to MLS fans, winning back-to-back CCL titles at the beginning of the decade, led by the Chilean striker Humberto Suazo. As Cortez trips up but is able to stick on the ball. RSL, of course, getting to one of those CCL finals before losing out at home at Rio Tinto Stadium to Monterrey. Monterrey knocking off Santos Laguna in their other CCL final win. Cleared away by Infanzon. Calmly laid back there, maybe a little bit too calmly from Sepulveda. Sepulveda, a golden opportunity to score at the closing seconds of that first half for Chivas. Flicking a header on off a free kick that had Ramos beat but went just over the crossbar. And now Daniel Hernandez coming out of the halftime whistle with an incredible opportunity as well. Monterrey working quickly out of their own half. Castro charging forward now from right back, trying to play it there into the path of Machado. Still alive here for Marcos, and he's able to win a free kick. Great area and a yellow card coming as well. I didn't see the contact from Diego Hernandez, excuse me. But he picks up a yellow card here in the 41st minute. Hernandez, a frustrating half, you'd have to say. Misses an open goal opportunity 30 seconds into play. And now picks up a yellow card about 5 minutes into play. And Chivas are preparing their first substitution of the game. Down on the sideline, it looks like Raul Huerta will be the one to come on. Chivas, a few dangerous players on the bench. Fernando Torres, who started a few games at left back, as well as Rigoberto Ledesma on the bench. Free kick coming in for Monterrey, headed away easily by Chivas. Worked up the field, and that one is deflected, but it'll go out for a throw-in. So the substitution is eventually made. It looks like Juan Perez is the one to come off in place of Huerta. Raul Huerta. He has been a substitute in every single game of this competition. Yet to start, coming on early here though. He's got about 30 minutes to make a difference. Doesn't look like any trainer is working with Perez there, so it's actually Perez there that throws the ball back. Doesn't look like an injury. So a tactical change just 5 minutes into the second half here for Joaquin Moreno. Potential injury now for Monterrey. And a free kick now will go in favor of Chivas. Another dangerous set-piece opportunity. They've put in some good service throughout this game. Haven't been able to finish yet. Will this be the time? Benjamin Galindo talking to our head referee, Victor Rivas. His assistants, Jeffrey Skinker and Tom Feliz, the fourth official, Guido Gonzalez. It looks like Hernandez will be the one standing over this one. Had a goal-scoring chance to open up the half that he put high. Can he make up for it here? Not a very close opportunity. Almost 30 yards out. The left-footed service clipped to the far post and taken easily by Ramos. Another set-piece chance wasted here by Chivas. There's a Ramos starting all 4 games of this competition. Steady hands so far for Monterrey. Made a huge save to keep his team in it in the second penalty kick shot against Sporting KC to get them to this stage. They finally get it wide to Lahoud. Machado getting it stuck on his foot a little bit. And now he's going to chase down and eventually seen out by Beltran. And a free kick there going for Sepulveda. They played it out short. Sepulveda on his first touch closed down quickly. Stolen away by Monterrey. Marcos to restart the attack. Looking to switch the field. Plays it too softly towards Castro. And it's won back by Chivas. Mistake there from Marcos. He hasn't made many, including the goal. And now a free kick will go against the Goats. Chivas Guadalajara, of course, at one time, the mother club of Chivas USA, an MLS franchise, for a short time. So the second sub of the game coming here for Chivas. Juan Benjamin coming on, and he comes on in place of Diego Hernandez. So a tough afternoon comes to a close for Hernandez. Long clearance. That one taken by Ramos. Headed out of bounds. So just about 12 minutes into the second half here. Chivas, their best opportunity probably of the game in the opening seconds of this second half. Chance put over. Diego Hernandez, who's now on the bench. Monterrey steadied themselves since then. Working forward now, creating a decent opportunity. Cross played in, lands at the feet of Lahoud, and then rolls out of bounds. Or it looked like Jose Alvarado making the run out of midfield on that one. Chivas is going to have to start pushing maybe a little bit for a goal as this half wears on. Should give Monterrey opportunities to get some decent numbers forward in the into the attack. Layoff up this left side from Lahoud. It looked like Pineda was taken down there, and finally the call is made. Hernan Pineda drawing the free kick in that far corner. Chivas leading still. Monterrey leading still 1-0 through Roberto Marcos' 29th-minute goal. Can they double their lead here? Played to the top of the box to no one on Monterrey, and Chivas is able to clear it away. A throw in now to Monterrey. A decent idea on the play, not enough communication. It didn't seem like everyone was on the same page. Throw in now. Taken by Parra. Alvarado turning it over, and now back the other way. It looks like Raul Huerta has come out on this right wing, replacing Hernandez, and Hugo Jaquez has moved over to the left side. We saw that in the last game against Chicago in the second half, them swapping wings, and it led to a second goal of the game. Jaquez 2 goals and an assist in that one, a huge performance from him, including that third goal on the left side to really seal the victory. Both those goals off slick counterattacks. Cross played in here to the far post. Lahoud is open, and he finishes to make it 2-0. Monterrey calm and composed here in the second half after an opening look from Chivas. doing a great job in possession to find the runners on the outside. 2 or 3 crosses from that far right wing for opportunities, and Daniel Lahoud making the late run on the far post, wide open in the end off that run, and gets himself his 3rd goal of the competition. Machado, the center forward, goes out wide. 2 players in the middle, and Lahoud coming in on the far post, wide open, and the little outside of the foot finish just in case to throw Martinez off the scent, and he gets himself the goal here in the 51st minute. What a performance so far from Monterrey. It's been bend but don't break defensively at times, and pure efficiency on the other end offensively for this team. And now Chivas with their backs up against the wall. About 20 minutes left to play here in regular time. Chivas is going to need at least one quickly to start getting themselves back in it. Macias has set a few of his teammates up. What a goal there from Lahoud. Roberto Marcos, our first goal scorer, now with some space, and you expect there'd be plenty of it now for Monterrey as Machado clips his shot high. Great game, though, from Machado. He's held the center backs in place in the middle of the field. He's held up the ball when he's had to, and then creates an opportunity for his teammate there. Very unselfish play from the center forward in Juan Machado. Chivas getting ready to make another substitution, trying to find a way to change things up here if they can. Everything really going against them so far. It looks like it'll be Rigoberto Ledesma to come on, a forward off the bench. Chivas has been able to create chances. It's been finishing that's been the problem here today, which wasn't what we expected coming into this one. Been the 3rd most efficient attacking team in the competition so far, with the 2nd most goals scored. Very mature team, as I said in the first half, the oldest team in the competition from one of the finest academies really in the world when you look at the production, especially those goal scorers. It's a long list of names. Marco Fabian, the latest of them, as the sub finally comes on. Did not see a player come off, to be quite honest. And now I see going off on the far side, and it looks like it's the left back, Jose Vargas. Very little surprise as Chivas is going to have to put numbers into the attack. So I expect we'll see a 3-man back line. Mistake there for Chivas. They're able to make up for it and clear it. Expect this Chivas team to go into a 3-4-3 formation to try and get more numbers forward into the attack. Cortez working down that right side, able to keep it alive. Eventually knocked out for a throw-in. Galindo and Spulveda alongside Cortez will be that back line now. And they'll look for help at times from Luis Rodriguez defensively. But Chivas have to commit numbers forward. Spulveda now making a deep run into the box. And Chivas has 2 outfield players outside of the final third. Monterrey has 1. Everyone else cramped into this area, and they earn a corner kick now. And now Galindo will come forward alongside Spulveda. The substitute De Leon to take. You can see the wind blowing with the flag right there. Played in, cleared away by Monterrey. Monterrey will have numbers if they can get it out of their half. Great anticipation there and battle on that far side. Chivas comes away with it. That ball goes off of Macias unexpectedly off his back into the feet of Ramos, who's in no rush to pick it up. About 15 minutes left to play here. The first semifinal of the Premier Division playoffs coming up at 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern. It's directly after this. Atletico Paranense will face off against Pumas, another Liga MX Academy squad, to see who will face off against the winner here in Monterrey. A 29th minute goal from Roberto Marcos and a 51st minute goal from Daniel Lahoud has them headed towards a final appearance. And the foul here going against Marcos. Looked like he was knocked down behind the play. Stolen off of Chivas there in the midfield, and now one back. Cleared by Castro, but a free kick going beforehand. And it's starting to get testy out there on the field, as you'd expect. Two of the giants of Liga MX facing off against each other. Marcos had the foul called against him there. I cannot imagine what for. Monterrey, I think, will be okay with it, though, with this 2-0 lead. Lethal in the first half, scoring the goal off Galindo's mistake in the pass out from his own back line. It was intercepted, worked through the feet of Machado, who played Marquez down the right side, and he volleyed it home to open up the scoring. Chivas, two incredible goal-scoring chances, one in stoppage time of the first half. That's Sepulveda flicked past Ramos, but over the crossbar on a free kick. And then Diego Hernandez in the opening seconds of the second half found himself wide open and a ball bouncing towards him right in the middle of the box, right at the PK spot. And he put his opportunity over the crossbar as well. 35-minute half, so Chivas about 12 minutes of normal time plus stoppage to get themselves back into it if they can tie. Straight to a penalty kick shootout. Work there from Rodriguez. He sprays it wide down the right side. Huerta giving up on that one maybe a little bit early, but it will roll out now for a goal kick. Chivas forced to make a few substitutions. They haven't trailed yet in this competition until today, knocking off the New England Revolution 2-1 in their opening match, taking care of the Portland Timbers 5-0 in their second match, and then beating Chicago Fire 4-1 in their third match. Lahoud, great composure there. They put Machado into space down the left side. Martinez out to take it, and he'll immediately play it out of bounds. You can hear Joaquin Moreno, the head coach of this U17 squad. Parra coming forward. He plays the cross in, and there is going to be a lot of opportunities for Marcos on that far side. Chivas took out their left back for a midfielder. They've moved to a 3-4-3, but Sepulveda hasn't really shifted his positioning that much, and so he has played fairly central, and Cortez has played almost as a right back here as Sepulveda picks up the yellow card. Here in the 60th minute. And so Marcos has been fairly open on that far side. Monterrey can find him, whether on crosses or counterattacks. Free kick taken long to Lahoud. He knocks it down. Lahoud now the leading goal scorer for this team with 3 goals in the competition. Monterrey doing a great job of keeping it alive and just frustrating Chivas. Monterrey won't mind as long as the ball is in their attacking third. They have very few problems because Jaquez and Macias can turn it on quickly for Chivas and get them chances. Throwing coming here. Ledesma, who's moved out to this right side. That one will go out off Chivas. Wide open space down the middle now. The outside of the football just a little bit too long. Pineda read it well. As I said, Marcos, acres of space to operate on that far right side. Just could not link up. Sepulveda gets taken out there. Rodriguez gets taken out. It'll be a free kick now for Chivas. They try and play quickly. Turnover from Rodriguez. He battles to win it back. Chivas, the better opportunities in the first half. A few great looks. A couple shots from inside the box, as well as Sepulveda's chance right at the end. But it was Monterrey efficient in their opportunity. Roberto Marcos, his second goal of the competition, giving them the lead in the 29th minute. Monterrey trailed in their in their final group stage game 2-0 against Sporting KC, and were able to come back, tie that one, and win in penalties to get here. And they have proven that they deserve to be here every step of the way, as they will make their first substitution of the game. And it's going to be, right now, the game-winning goal scorer, Roberto Marcos, coming off for Aldo Tamez. Tamez has been a sub in all 3 games, scored late against Sporting Kansas City to keep this team alive. Maybe he can do it again and put the nail in the coffin and give this team a guaranteed victory here against Chivas. Cortez lays it off and continues his run to Macias. Macias pass one, knocked away into the hands of Ramos. You see how good Jose Juan Macias can be in tight spaces. Beating that first defender, but Monterrey staying disciplined, closing down the ball with 3 defenders there in the box. Monterrey not dropping their levels of focus or intensity. They've been toe-to-toe with Chivas the entire time. Knocked around the midfield now. Both teams looking to get into possession. Tamez wide open on the far side. Monterrey, though, not the opportunity to pick their head up and play it. Galindo with the header. His legs get taken out from under him by Machado, and the foul called. Victor Rivas, Jeffrey Skinker, Tom Feliz, and Guido Gonzalez, our 4 officials, haven't had much to do so far today. Some fouls called, but nothing too serious going on at all in this game. 30 fouls in total called in this one, 15 to either side. 3 yellow cards, 1 to Monterrey and 2 to Chivas. Possession has been almost even between these 2 teams throughout this game. Passing as well, pretty similar. These 2 teams have shown very similar levels of ability. They've gone toe-to-toe in this one. Monterrey have just been more efficient in their finishing. Macias there, trying to flick it on, not be successful. Now Pineda down the right side. He's got Tamez in help, and it goes out off of Pineda and out for the Chivas throw-in. Chivas, not a lot of time to waste, approaching the last 5 minutes of normal time here. And a free kick there in favor of Chivas. The 2-goal lead for Monterrey might see them in. Might be enough to see them into the Premier Division Championship game against either Pumas or Atlético Paranaense out of Curitiba, Brazil. That game coming up for you in just about 40 minutes, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern time. After that one, we'll have our 2 Championship Division semifinals. The Championship Division MLS teams had to qualify for. Throughout qualifying over the last year, every other MLS team came into this Premier Division. One MLS team still alive, and that is in the championship. The first semifinal this evening will be River Plate against Villarreal, 6:15 Central, 7:15 Eastern time. And then the second game, 8:15 p.m. Central, 9:15 p.m. Eastern time. FC Dallas, our host club, and one of the strongest academies in all of Major League Soccer. And they face off against UD Chile out of Santiago, Chile. Chile and River Plate, the 2 best performers in the group stage in the championship division. Atlético Paranaense and Chivas, the 2 best performers in the Premier Division. And we see how much that's mattered here against Monterrey. Atlético Paranaense, led by the big captain at center forward in Igu, as well as their creative number 10 in William, are something to watch for sure. It'll be interesting to watch Pumas face off against them. Paranaense rolled through their first 2 games, and then RSL gave them a great fight in the third group stage game. RSL as well, winning their first 2 games. Those 2 faced off to win the group, and RSL finally falling 1-0. A couple second half opportunities to send it to PKs. Macias has the switch of the field. He finally gets it out wide to Jaquez. Jaquez, a runner off him, and his pass right into the feet of Castro. Chivas now looking to keep it alive. They get it to the top of the box. The shot comes in and flashes just wide of the far post. Fantastic first touch and shot there on that opportunity. It looked like Raul Huerta, the substitute, with the clean first touch, bounced down into the ground, allowing the ball to sit up well for him and get through it on his second touch with the volley. Just wide of that far post. Ramos outstretched, not sure if he would have been able to save it. Chivas, as we've said all game, creating opportunities. They have just not been able to find a finish. Ramos hasn't made a ton of big saves or tough saves, but he has stood up to everything that's been asked of him so far. That free kick played directly out of bounds. Cesar Ramos, 3 saves on 7 shots faced in this game. Miguel Martinez, 1 save on 7 shots faced as well. 2 of those finding the back of the net. Roberto Marcos in the 29th and Daniel Lahoud in the 51st. And it looks like that might be enough for Monterrey to get themselves to the final. They squeaked out of the group stage in a penalty kick shootout that took 5 shots to separate them against Sporting KC. And it looks like they might knock off the Giants from Chivas de Guadalajara and potentially bring a Premier Division championship here in the Generation Adidas Cup trophy back to Monterrey. Set piece chance here for Chivas as we enter stoppage time. It's not going to be a lot more opportunities for this Chivas team to at least try and get one goal and give them a chance to get back into it. Left-footed service, clip to the far post, and Ramos' safe hands once again where they have to be making the save, and that might be it for this Chivas team. Chivas Guadalajara winning all 3 group stage games on 9 points, the 3rd leading scoring team in this competition, with the leading goal scorer in this competition, Jose Juan Macias, starting up top at forward, and they have been shut out thus far in the back pocket, and we will see a red card. And it's to Benjamin Galindo, wearing that captain's armband. And here in stoppage time, Chivas go down a man. Chivas lost their heads in front of goal a couple times and now lost their heads here in open play. Galindo in the battle and back behind the play. 2 hands, both his right and left, taking a swing there at the face of, I can't tell which Monterrey player it is, on the ground. And Galindo now will walk off. He knew he made the mistake immediately after it was called. Just looked to apologize. And it had been coming, you have to say, for Chivas. They've looked more and more frustrated as this game's worn on. And eventually the lash out there from the captain in Galindo. He is now guided off the field by Guido Gonzalez. Substitute getting ready to come on here. Sergio Moreno for Monterrey. It'll be more of a formality with not much time left. As you see Galindo there, sent off to the bench. Now will be taken to the locker room. This competition will be over for Chivas just a game earlier than they expected. Not heavy favorites, but they were favorites, as Galindo, in a nice moment, shares a handshake over on the sideline, as it looks like the man who went down with the injury there is Eluad Saenz. Saenz now will come back on. He is not the one who is substituted for. Substitution coming in for Lahoud, the goal scorer. Sergio Moreno now on. Saenz still off on the sideline. So 2 goals to Monterrey in the 29th and 51st minute, and then a red card in stoppage time against Chivas. And their captain, Benjamin Galindo, their right center back. A goal-scoring chance here, but we are minutes away now from Monterrey going through to the next round. That one goes high and over the top. And now Saenz coming back on the field. Put on a little bit of high pressure. The final will be here on MLSsoccer.com and here at Toyota Stadium on Saturday. Another foul behind the play as Chivas has lost control now. They do not look to be controlled mentally. And it's going to be Monterrey now as a second red card is shown in this competition. Chivas will have one more consolation game. They're going to be struggling to find players to play in that one. And it's Juan de Leon this time who was sent off. So 2 red cards here in stoppage time. Chivas will fall and Monterrey will move on to play in the final against either Atletico Paranaense or Pumas. 5:15 p.m. Central Time, 6:15 p.m. Eastern Time here on MLSsoccer.com on Saturday will be the final. That will be followed immediately by the championship division final. We'll see the two semifinals later in that one to see who will go to the championship there. Monterrey, it looks like, is going to be the first team in as we open up a day of 4 straight semifinals. A buffet of youth soccer for you on MLSsoccer.com. We'll be bringing you all 4 of those. We'll get you the results from the other games that have been played out on the fields at Toyota Soccer Center, as every team that comes to this competition will play in 5 games. Those games already lined up. Chicago Fire facing the New England Revolution, DC United, the Colorado Rapids facing off, and a host of others. And we'll get you the scores in just a few minutes. But that will do it here. The Monterrey out of Monterrey, Mexico. The Liga MX team squeaking past Sporting KC in the final group stage game on PKs, and then taking care of business, calm, cool, and collected here in a fiery game against Chivas. Roberto Marcos, his second goal of the competition in the 29th minute. Daniel Lahoud, the leading scorer for Monterrey, his third goal of the competition in the 51st minute. Give Monterrey a 2-0 lead. 2 red cards in stoppage time to Chivas as a messy finish for them. But Monterrey now moves on to the final Saturday night here at Toyota Stadium. As Monterrey has the opportunity to go and potentially win the Premier Division in this 2016 Generation Adidas Cup. For David Goss and everyone else here, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be back in just about half an hour with the second semifinal between Atletico Paranaense and Liga MX squad Pumas here on MLSsoccer.com.